Hi, if you'd like to know what was discussed at the Environment and Climate Change stream of the National Landcare Conference, stick around. There were 10 sessions presented on a wide variety of subjects. For example, how to transition Broken Hill into an ecotourism destination. What is the relationship between the finance sector and biodiversity? Or what makes biological control of weeds sustainable? Let's do it! There were 4 streams presented at the conference: Community Partnerships in Action, Sustainable Agriculture, Landcare Impact, and Environment and Climate Change, which I was emceeing. Now, my job was to make sure that no one runs over time, all the questions are asked and answered by the presenters because it was held online, and all the slides are up and running. And it gave me an amazing opportunity to speak with the presenters before and sometimes after the presentation. In this video, I'm going to point out main insights from the highlighted presentations that you see on the screen. Now head to Landcare website for all the presentations from all the speakers. The link is in the description. Simon Mossworth from Landcare Broken Hill shared his vision and ambition for Broken Hill, which he's going to transfer to an ecotourism destination. Now, if you've never been to Broken Hill, it's a mining town in far west, outback, New South Wales. Very arid, desert region. So how is he going to do that? Through the proposed Landcare Hub, which consists of a community garden with more than 60 raised veggie garden beds, a children's garden, vocational training hub, community and well-being facility for disadvantaged people, more than 120 meters of shade houses, and seed bank. Now, why is it inspiring? Because of the sheer location and topography and landscape. Broken Hill, desert, arid, a mining town as well. So imagine the population of Broken Hill. It's not Bronte, Byron Bay or Brunswick. So there are no greenie groups there. So he's got to be very good at getting people on board, and environmental preaching is not going to cut it. So I like it for both of these ambitions, the landscape and also the cultural and socio-economic landscape. Then Natasha Dekker from the University of Queensland explores the interface between the finance sector and biodiversity. Did you know that more than half of the global gross domestic product economic output of $44 trillion depends on ecosystem services? They underpin financial performance of businesses. For example, if we lose pollinators, that puts more than $500 billion per year of crop value at risk. Farmers need crops, crops need pollinators, and pollinators need biodiversity. So if we threaten biodiversity, that threatens businesses. Did you know that biodiversity loss is one of the 4 greatest global risks to business, along with inaction on climate change, extreme weather and natural disasters, as one of the many graphs that Natasha shares on her slides. Check the slides in the description. I'm not going to share her slides. Now, the biggest takeaway I got from her slides was the realization that biodiversity is not the same thing as climate change, although they are related. But climate change has clear metric and target. The metric is tons of greenhouse gas emissions, mainly CO2, but not only CO2, and the target is 1.5 degrees of warming under the Paris Agreement. But biodiversity has a variety of matrices and not a clear comparable target. Then Lois Morin, who is the CSIRO research scientist, shares what makes biological control of weeds sustainable. Now, we have 3 main weed controls: mechanical or physical, where you remove the weeds, then chemical, where you spray the weeds, or biological, where you introduce an agent, which in this context means a bug or plant or an animal into the environment which controls the weeds. Now, she gives many examples. 2 of those are lacebug, to control small leaf privet, which is pretty bad weed, and also blight fungus, to control sea spurge, which is a coastal weed. Now, what makes biological control of weeds sustainable and what are its advantages? It saves time and money. You don't spray anything, so that means that you're not contaminating the land and you're also not targeting the native or desirable species. And you are not disturbing the soil because you're not physically walking or accessing any areas. So these are the and also you are able to access hard to access areas such as steep cliffs, for example. So these are the advantages, and disadvantages are mainly resources, financial resources, because it requires quite significant upfront investment into research. Now, Lois also assured us that we don't need to worry about the next cane toad or rabbits, because these things are things of the past. Nowadays, the regulations and research is really high level, so there is significant investigation and research before this control agent, a fungus, bug or plant, is released into the environment, which ultimately makes it very sustainable, cost-effective and also time-saving weed control. And then we have Linda and Jake from Bungalow Koalas Wildlife Corridor. They started as a group of neighbors protecting, conserving wildlife habitat for koalas, but now they are a registered environmental organization, creating a wildlife corridor for koalas across northern rivers of New South Wales. They have a target of planting 250,000 trees by the end of 2025, and they've already planted half of those trees. Along with planting trees, they also run community and landholder engagement and workshop sessions and education sessions. Now, what I like about the project is that not only they write grants, but they actually got councils and landholders on board and then just started planting trees. Now, I don't want to say just planted trees, because they actually pointed out that it's very important to ensure that the trees actually reach maturity for the koalas, right? To put ideally a 3-year maintenance plan for the planted trees, so that the trees are not just planted and forgotten and then dead, but they actually reach maturity and are happy and they achieve their purpose to be home and food for koalas. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you very much. I'm Jan from Sustainable Butterflies. As I mentioned at the beginning, I was just scratching surface today. So head to the Landcare website, the link is in the description, and see all the slides from all the presenters, because there's so much value in it. And also reach out to them if you need more inspiration or need advice, specific advice based on their presentations. Have a great day.